Our products are organically sourced natural healthy foods from Nigeria, West Africa, sourced directly from the small local farmers. At Naturalike, we believe what you put in your body and on your body can dramatically impact your health and well-being. Boost your energy levels and satisfy your cravings with a healthy dose of natural sweetness from our products. We're excited to help lead African foods and products into the global health and wellness markets. Follow us on Instagram at Naturalike, on Facebook at Naturalike LLC, and YouTube at Naturalike TV. These organically sourced foods are available at our Amazon store, amazon.com/Naturalike. Email us at naturalikeproducts@gmail.com.
There we go. That was the problem. Hold on. I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I fixed it. All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Are we good to go? Are we good to go? Press 1 if you can hear me. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. I had the wrong connection and it was all messed. Okay, whatever. Guys, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Everyone who is here, thank you so much for joining and rocking with me. Thank you for the support. It really means a lot. You know I love you guys. You know I love y'all. You know I love y'all. So it really, your support really means a lot, because you guys could be somewhere else, but you're here with me. So today's conversation. Well, before we get into today's conversation, we have one spot remaining. Again, we have one spot remaining for Nigeria. We have one spot remaining for Nigeria for the Oshun Festival, August 4th to the 13th. August 4th to the 13th, we have one spot left. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, DANFO.Africa. We will love to have you all. Again, we will love to have you all. And then I need to update it, but we're rolling to Benin Republic for the Voodoo Festival. We're rolling to Benin Republic for the Voodoo Festival. That is January 3rd to 12th. January 3rd to 12th. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo.Africa. Guys, we'll love to have you. We will. I can't make this trip, but I need to go. I have Yoruba DNA. You can make it, AJ. AJ, how long have you known that you've had Yoruba DNA? Again, how long have you known that you've had Yoruba DNA? Because I know you've known for a minute now. Don't act like you just found out. About 6 months. Okay, so come to we're going to the birthplace of the Yoruba. That's where we're going. So come and join us. August 4th to the 13th. Come and join us. But let's get into today's topic. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing the year of return and why people are so critical. I have been critical before in the past, but looking back and reflecting on the year of return, I actually was there for the year of return in 2019, towards the end of December. So I did Duddy December in Accra in Ghana in 2019. And let me say this. It was a success. It was a success overall. I'm gonna tell you why. I know some people are like, well, it's a money grab and they just want the diaspora's money. See, what you guys aren't realizing, number one, there were a lot of white people there. So this just wasn't a blackity black event. Again, there were a lot of white tourists who were there at the year of return. So again, this just wasn't a blackity black situation. But number two, like I said before, I would much rather see our people spend their money in Ghana than France, Europe, East Asia, West Asia, Mexico. I don't care how you guys feel. I don't care that, if so-called Ghana played on our emotions so they could get that bag from us. I don't care about that. I would much rather see that money circulated, those tourist dollars, those tourism dollars circulated in Ghana than anywhere else. And Ghana did an excellent job with the marketing. So we got to give it up to Ghana. And I'm hoping that countries like Nigeria, just other countries in general, follow suit and run the same play like Ghana. Because Nigeria has the infrastructure, Senegal has the infrastructure. Unfortunately, Sierra Leone and Liberia, I'm Sierra Leonean as well. But we wouldn't have the infrastructure to absorb the inflow or the same number of guests that Ghana was. The infrastructure is not there. As far as hospitality, where people, places for people to stay, it's not there, unfortunately. So would I love to see a year of return, a formal year of return to Sierra Leone? Yes. Could Sierra Leone handle it? No. But one thing that Sierra Leone has, and hopefully it'll be announced soon again, is the citizenship via DNA. Hopefully there will be another swearing in November. I'm hoping in November. I got word that it's supposed to happen, but they just haven't formally announced it. But I got word that it's supposed to happen. So hopefully in November, there will be another swearing in Sierra Leone. But outside of that, to be honest, the only countries that can handle a year of return on the same level as Ghana in West Africa would be Senegal, Nigeria. That's it. As far as infrastructure, in regards to being able to accommodate thousands of people. Those are the only two countries. Liberia wouldn't be able to. Gambia wouldn't be able to. Well, maybe Gambia. Maybe Gambia. No, Liberia wouldn't be able to. They don't have the accommodations. Sierra Leone wouldn't be able to. They don't have the accommodations. Only countries, Nigeria and Senegal, on the level of Ghana. Again, on the level of Ghana, only Senegal and Nigeria. That's it. Maybe Gambia. Not I've been to Gambia. Maybe not Gambia. Yeah, not Gambia. Yeah, not Gambia. You're right, Adenike. Not Gambia. Just Nigeria and Sierra Leone. I'm sorry, Nigeria and Senegal. That's it. That's it. But let me play some footage from the last year of return. And again, Ghana did an excellent job. Yeah, Ghana did an excellent job. I don't care what you say. They did a great job marketing. They got that money to circulate into Ghanaian tourism. I'm all for it. I'm in full support. I am in full support. Hold on, let me play this video real quick.
With the Disney bundle, there's something for everyone.
Oh, you're right. Hold on.
Adventure.
You're right. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Cote d'Ivoire can absorb it. Cote d'Ivoire could accommodate it. Definitely. Cote d'Ivoire could accommodate it. I forgot. Ivory Coast. Absolutely. Ivory Coast, definitely. Ivory Coast can. Forgot about Ivory Coast.
So is this like the first time in Ghana?
Oh my gosh, this is my first time in Ghana, but it's crazy because I feel like I'm at home.
Really?
Yes, I've heard so many times, welcome home, and this is probably like my fifth, sixth time hearing it today, and I'm like, this is home. I feel like I belong here.
Yeah. So what will you tell the rest of the people, because it's the year of return and we're encouraging more people to visit Ghana. Yeah. So based on your experience, which you say you feel at home, what would your advice be to those who are yet to visit Ghana?
Let me tell you something. The culture is amazing. The people are beautiful. Oh, let me tell you one thing about my fellow Ghana people, okay? They wake up, they stay fly. They don't have to get fly. They are already fly. They are so fabulous. They wake up, they look amazing. Their hair is done, the makeup is done. I'm like, y'all just wake up like this? This is originally must be where Beyonce's from, because she wake up like this, and so do my people here. It is an amazing country. I'm having so much fun. We went to a party last night at the Labadee Hotel. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Labadee Hotel. And when I say popping, it was amazing. It felt like I was at Howard University on campus my freshman year. It has been amazing. The food has been good. The people have been so welcoming. I can't wait to come back and bring my whole family.
So are we going to see you in any public events? There are a lot of events going on. So are you attending maybe Afrochella, Afro Nation? Like, is there any plans for that?
Yes, so I'm going to Afrochella today.
If you guys don't know, Afrochella's no more. They got into it's like it was a cease and desist filed by Coachella, and they had to change the name. And it's just ever since Afrochella had to change the name, I don't think they were really able to bounce back. But yeah, Afrochella's done.
And I'm hoping that I can make it to Afro Nation as well. But absolutely Afrochella today. My bus is leaving at 4:30. I got my outfit all laid out. I'm ready. Right now, I was at the pool and I stopped by really quickly to the meet with Mona Scott Young. I'm getting ready to go back to the pool. And I'm going to freshen up, change up, and then I'll see you guys at Afrochella.
Sure. Do enjoy your stay.
Thank you so much. I love it. See you later.
Oh, let's watch some more. But yeah, Ghana did great. Ghana did great. Shout out to Ghana, man. Ghana did an excellent job. You know, I know a lot of people hate on Ghana and say it was a money grab, but no, it's business. You have a product, you have something of value. You market it, people find value in it, they pay for it. Good. Well, let's get Steve Harvey up in here.
Do you want to invest but don't know where to start? Check out the Webull app, an easy-to-use trading platform that allows you to invest.
Fair use. How to Steve Harvey.
Welcome to Ghana.
They just made this for me today. No measurements or nothing. He said he took to watch my show for years.
Yeah.
And so he made me my caftan. So I put it on, just kept it on. I said, I don't rock that. Nice and sexy, ain't it?
What your thoughts are on the fact that the president of Ghana has made a call for people to come back to the motherland? What your thoughts are on the year of return?
I mean, I just think it's a fabulous idea, you know. It was something I had planned on doing years ago. It's been on my vision board for years. And this was the time I was coming for some other business and things to make a deeper footprint over here than just to come over here, perform and go back. This is different for me. So we're going to stay for a while. We got some things set up on the continent. So I just think it's a great call, though. I don't think people understand how it feels for a lot of African Americans to come home to a place you've never been. I mean, how you never been home before? I think it's emotional for everybody. Every African American should experience it for their own soul. It's for your soul. You know, your soul is here. Mm-hmm. And so it's nothing but greatness being here. I mean, you know, this is home. It's when we get here, the first time I came here, I couldn't stop crying because I had come to a place called home, which I had never been. Mm-hmm. And I felt robbed. And so I'm good now. Now, you know, we're doing some business over here. Mm-hmm. We're going to create some opportunity over here. We're going to change the thought process, you know, and this is going to help shape, especially bridge the gap between African Americans and Africans, because that's what you have to do. You know, we all know what America is. You know, we've done some wonderful things. They accomplished a great deal, but you don't know what it is. You got to go home, though. Eventually, you got to go home. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It pulls at you, you know. So once you come here, you'll get it. Mm-hmm. The more of us that come here, the more you'll get it. Because when you drive down the street, it's like driving down the street in Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, Washington. You just keep seeing yourself. I thought 5 people was my aunt today. I thought I saw my aunts 5 times today. I know I saw some cousins. And I met the dude from Houston. That's over in Springfield.
Right, we did.
He's just a lighter version of my brother Terry.
Really?
And when I saw him, I had to sit down. He looked just like my brother.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate what y'all doing. It's a wrap. Hey, what's up, kids? Hey, man, come on. What's the matter? Get your head up. You don't want the picture?
All right, guys, link to the chat room. Anon May, if you want to call in, call in. Again, if you want to call in, click on that link and call in. Listen, if you think the year of return wasn't successful, call in and let me know why. But I'm hoping Nigeria does something similar. I know I don't see, and that's where I disagree with Corporate Junkie. I mean, you need to boost your tourism, and you know the majority of the diaspora, our roots are from Nigeria. That's just a fact. So why Nigeria won't have a year return, I don't know, but it just makes sense. So, but guys, links in the chat room if you want to call in after the conversation. And I may, year of return is a fraud. Hear why Ghana earned. You got to call in. Well, $1.5 trillion from the return a year? No, they didn't. And plus the money vanished, Black Star Bank, where Black foreigners used to have their money closed. You gotta call in and go into detail, because I don't, $1.5 trillion, that seems like that's a reach. And I'm not familiar with the Black Star Bank. But links in the chat room if you want to call in, call in. If not, forever hold your peace. Go ahead, Kofi.
Yeah, what's up, man? How you
Go
doing?
ahead.
I'm in Ghana right now. I'm in Accra.
Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I feel like Ghana's been doing a great job with the year return. Uh, they're bringing in figures like Stevie Wonder. They're bringing in our celebrity class, and I believe these are people that are known internationally. And there's no better way to bring in investors than to bring in a Stevie Wonder, to take Dwayne Wade, Gabriella Union, to attract these high profile figures. And all that says is, if they're willing to live here, then who can't live here? Who wouldn't want to be here? And driving around looking for apartments in Accra, it's starting to look just like Brooklyn, New York. It's starting to look like a Los Angeles, but the amount of speed that is growing, and the amount of room that's still left, and new sites to be built upon. I think Ghana prepares the diaspora to tackle and to go into other countries and invest. Now, this is not the cheapest place in the world, but if you're African American coming from New York, if you're coming from Los Angeles, if you're coming from Atlanta, Miami, Houston, Dallas, you know that your rent is just 3 times cheaper. So I feel like this is just a continuum from these cities that were gentrified. And you're starting to see like an entrepreneurial class of African Americans come into Africa, making millions of dollars. You know, yes, we are a consumer class compared to China, compared to the Lebanese, but we're also a class of people that's going to innovate. We're not going to want to compete with the Indians, compete with the Chinese in the same way as they put up their 99-cent stores, they put up their Chinese food stores. We want to go for the gusto. We want to go for things that have never been done before, and that happens because we're willing to risk our lives. We're willing to risk it all, and I believe we painted a path for immigrants to maneuver that way in the United States, because we've pretty much accomplished everything. So we made a path for immigrants from around the world to come to the United States, and we've been going to Africa for the past 200 years. Freetown, Sierra Leone, Monrovia, Liberia. So now that we're starting to get on the African landscape again, this is just another renaissance and another enlightenment of African Americans coming back to Africa. And I think as human beings, other human beings are gonna take this, they're gonna go even harder based off of what we're doing. Like, oh, if these Black Americans could do it, I know I can do it. We're kind of giving the world that like oomph, you know.
Hey, so Kofi, let me ask you this: people who think people, are you fighting your mic? You're fighting your mic. Okay. People who say that the year of return was a money grab and it wasn't successful, what would be your response to that?
What would I say to that? Sure. I mean, sure, it helped the economy. You know, they took in consumer dollars, but still, that money still has to be invested into Ghana's infrastructure. And as much as the infrastructure is hitting Accra, you have to ask yourself, is it hitting the other regions? And I would say yes. I would say yes. In time, it will. Was it a money grab? Where in the world isn't it a money grab where Black Americans lay their heads at? It's just wherever we go, people are gonna make money. That's just how it is. I don't think anyone got hit over the head. I just feel that we're joining the wave that's been happening on the African continent since the transatlantic slave trade. It's always been a money grab, not just on us, but because of us.
Mm-hmm. You all right?
My bad, my iPad phone.
Okay. What as far as like some of the challenges, for some of the challenges that Black Americans are having in Ghana, as far as, you know, they're saying the land scams and all that, like what would be your response to that? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like if you're getting scammed out of, say, I heard a huge number like 400,000, and it's like this lady like laughed it off, and she's still here and investing. Just think about how much money she must have had in the bank to just lose $400,000. And I just feel like if you have that much money to just throw away like that and carelessly trust someone, then you must have more than that. That's what I would say to that. To me, I never really had that much money to lose. I probably got mad because someone ran away with like $30. And they promised me some catfish. I gave them $30. And they never came back. That's how. Okay, I got scammed. You got me.
Hey, Annie May, if you want to call in, click Johnny Johnson, Annie May. You know, people in the chat room. If you want to call in, click that link in the chat room, and you could call in.
But this is a place. This is pretty much a place where you could sort of not make your own rules, but you are applying your own systems. Now, you could take a huge landmass and you could pretty much build your own city, and that city would have its own rules. Now, a lot of people that was born in Ghana, they never went to the West. They never had to go to England, Belgium, Germany, or the United States. So they have their own rules, and that's how they live. We're coming from the West. We have hundreds of laws that's been implemented for certain reasons. So I would say you could come here, carve out a piece of land, and you can make your own rules within that land. Once you go outside of that, it's a whole new set of rules. I still own my land in Sable, and I've been using that yearly to get my letter for residency, permanent residency every year. You know, so I was the type of person who bought land, and I wasn't in Ghana. We just took a leap of faith. You know, and I still go back to that land today water it. We have a borehole. We're producing water. I believe that's an asset. But people have to be careful. Like our sister Naomi, so rest in peace. We can't lose our common sense out here. We have to act like our people were thrown into slavery. So whenever someone tries to guilt me into like trusting them, I tell them like, look, my people were enslaved. So this is how I have to move. And everyone understands it. Everyone understands things from that context. As long as we know our history and we're applying it, I believe that no one can get over on you here. And to detractors like corporate junkie, like this guy is a real douchebag to me.
Oh wow, man! Why does he have to be a douchebag? Like why?
I just he took one of the he took Just Vlog. He took her video, and he just made it seem like Black Americans and African Americans were the worst thing, to where like the government really have to vet us and put more restrictions on us coming in. I'm like, damn, like it's not even like this place is not even that regulated for that to happen. Yes, you shouldn't let just anyone in here. You shouldn't let people come here and lose all their money and starve. But damn, like I think we're earned that we have to experience Africa. Yeah, we have to experience it. We have to transition past our trauma, and this is the only way to do it. And I don't think people should fault us for that. I feel like he should be rooting us on more. Like when his last video that you shared, I kind of agreed on some things as well. But after a while, I felt like, damn, he's kind of playing this like Nigerian guy who, when he first came to U.S., he was getting bullied. They called him African bully scratcher. And now he's just like, now he has his big corporate job, and now he's like striking back now. Like I'm like, damn, like take it easy. You just got back here.
All right, go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Donis, and hello to you, Kofi.
Peace.
Look, yeah, thank you. I just want to give a big shout out to Ghana. I think they were able to monetize this whole thing, the slavery, and people going back there and paying money to see where, Ashantis and Fantis, soul slaves from Amina Castle, and people like Steve Harvey is crying and being emotional about it. I think Ghana did a good thing by welcoming people back. But I would give props to your country, Dinus, Sierra Leone. I think
yes,
they have invested more in a sense of belonging, giving people citizenship, really making people feel like they're Sierra Leoneans. And I know, Kofi, you're Ghanaian, but I have a problem with Ghana because I think Ghana is like the South Africa of West Africa. I think there's some form of, I won't say, xenophobia, but I've had relatives and other people from other countries have said the same thing, where you can't work in Ghana if there's a Ghanaian that's qualified for that job if you're a foreign national. So like you'll have Liberians who are in Ghana who, some of them was on the refugee camp, and they, went to school and got their degrees. But when they apply for jobs, by law, by some policy, the Ghanaians come first, and immigrants who are living in Ghana are not allowed to have those jobs before the Ghanaians if they're qualified Ghanaians. And
I don't see a problem with that.
Right, and that's a problem if they're going to tell us that we're all Africans and we need to, these people need to come back home, quote unquote, come back home. So when they come back home, because they're going to be foreign nationals, and you're going to prioritize the quote unquote native Ghanaians, and you're welcoming, you're welcoming people back home who are quote unquote foreigners and not Ghanaians. Why welcome them back if you have such a divisive policy when it comes to jobs?
I don't see an issue with that at all. I mean, I think when it comes to hiring, I think the locals come first. I think anybody that moves to Ghana who's a foreign national, I think they should be creating jobs, if anything.
Right, you're in a position, Dynas, and I can understand you coming from that position. So you're only saying people who should move to Ghana are people who are in the capacity to create jobs, but not
Yeah,
everybody is doing that.
yeah. But I mean, who? And you're right, Elvis. So just help me out. So I'm in Liberia. I leave Liberia to go to Ghana to get a job that I'll make what's the minimum wage, Kofi, in Accra in Ghana? Like 50 CDs, 60 CDs.
It was 4,000 Ghana cedis a month, so that's about
4,000.
That's
okay.
about $300 a month.
That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad compared to Africa. Other countries in Africa. You're saying minimum wage in Ghana is 4,000 CDs a month?
The average income in Ghana is 4,000 cedis a month. Yep.
I'm saying minimum wage.
But that's the medium.
Yeah, I'm talking about minimum wage. Minimum wage.
Minimum wage. Someone told me, but I kind of forgot.
Are you sure it's because I mean, one CD is like what? I'm sorry, 7 CDs was like I'm sorry, 8 CDs is like $1, right?
15 CDs to $1.
Damn, it's 15 CDs now.
Yeah,
dude. Kofi. The first time I went to Ghana in 2017, it was like maybe what 4.5 or something like that.
When I went, it was 5.7.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay.
3 years ago.
Yeah. Oh wow. All right, go ahead, Elvis.
All right. Yeah, and I say this, Dynas, and some people would say, I'll take my country for example. We have Ghanaians who are, first and second generations Liberians who have their own businesses, they're hiring government, they have, jobs. And many people before we went to war, many people who lived in Liberia felt welcome. They even became Liberian citizens and they were integrated into our society flawlessly. And it's the opposite in Ghana. And I think that's a problem because if you're going to be Pan African and we're all one, but yet we treat you better in our country when we go to your country, you kind of sideline us. I know people who are working in hotels who are Ghanaians. I know professor at the University of Liberia who are Ghanaians. So the reality is there's a different code, and I'm not sure if it's like that in Nigeria, Dynas. I've never been. You've been a lot, but I'm not sure if Nigerians would tell you can't work in this position unless there's no qualified Nigerian. I don't think Nigeria have that law. I don't think many West Africans have that law, but Ghana specifically have a law on their books, and they've enforced it many times, and people complain about it. So I don't know if that's fair. You're saying it's fair, but I think it's almost you're kind of not welcoming people to your country. And I'm saying this because I see some form of hypocrisy when you're encouraging people to come and spend money from the diaspora, but you have such a divisive policy that's going to exclude them. So many people go to Ghana, and there's that shock because if they don't have money already to start a business and sustain themselves, you go, you look for a job at a restaurant or a hotel, and if you're a foreigner, you know, you're last on the list, and I don't think that's good. They don't welcome people to your country, or don't give this facade that you're welcoming people to your country, and you want them to come in and be a part of Ghana when you have a divisive policy that's going to disadvantage them. That's just my take on it. I want to hear from Kofi.
I don't see it being divisive. I see it just putting, the local Ghanaians first. But go ahead, Kofi.
You get that feeling that you definitely have to create your own business because no one's gonna hire you. You're overqualified and you're underpaid. Now, the amount of money that we're bringing into Ghana, I believe that we can act as a consultant to each government institution and in each
Hold on,
region.
Tunde, you gotta turn off the playback. Tunde, you gotta turn off the playback. Go ahead, Kofi.
I just said.
I believe that Ghana is definitely not caught up to the West, even though you could say that our African brothers and sisters had first contact with the Europeans, something that the European isn't telling them, or something that us in the diaspora wasn't able to get to them. Like, this is how we're living over here. This is how we're modernizing. And then you come back, and you only see those forms in like major capital cities. I believe that's the least they can get us involved in. But it's like that nepotism is there, and if anything, you're gonna have to pretend that you're one of them. That's your best bet, or else, yes, you are going to be on the outside. Now, when you do the same thing, right? When you're just working with your people, when you're just talking to your people, when you're just hiring people from the U.S. and you're also from the U.S., now there's that double standard. Like, oh, you're encroaching on the natives. Like, oh, you're not talking to the natives. Like, oh, you're oppressing the native population. Like, damn, like, when are you gonna consider me one of the natives who lineage just got lost in the past, but I'm back now? I almost agree with Elvis that, you know, the nepotism is high, and you're gonna have to be super talented and in order not to be overlooked as you're making your way through these countries as a foreigner.
Go ahead, Tunde. Unmute yourself, Tunde.
What's going on?
Yes, sir.
Just to answer your question about whether it was a great move, I guess that was the question. Ghana's return to success. Yeah, I believe it was a success. Was it a money grab? Yeah, but so what? I mean, every other nation has money grabs. You go to Dubai, they do money grabs every year with their, you know, tourists and things like that. So I'm not mad at it. What I will say is this: I'm big on accountability, right? And I'm Nigerian, right? So I'm speaking from a Nigerian American perspective, right? As somebody who's done some type of history on just West Africa and the transatlantic slave trade and all that. So I don't see how Africans who partook in the Atlantic slave trade and send their descendants or their ancestors to a nation to go build a nation up like America, and then they have to come back to Ghana and now build a nation in Ghana. I don't agree with that. I think that the African nations should have some type of system that benefits first the Ghanaian people and have those and make it where it's a smooth transition for Black Americans, African Americans to come through and acclimate themselves effectively. I don't agree with, you know, building a nation called America for free and then coming back to Africa and building and creating jobs for, like, no, I understand the logic behind it. You know, they have access to more information. They're more knowledgeable on certain things. They have access to things that the average Ghanaian may not have access to. And I get that, but it's like, come on, there's no excuse at this point. I think Africa should take foothold on its destiny and take charge and make something happen for Black people all throughout the diaspora to come through and acclimate themselves, you know, smoothly, transition themselves smoothly. You know, I don't want, you know, that's my take.
Okay.
All right. If I can come here, Dinas, and just listening and thinking, I thought about it, and Liberia, for example, is a unique country in Africa because the premise in which the country was founded on was that it's supposed to be a safe haven for African people from the diaspora and on the continent. So that's why we don't have these quote unquote draconian laws that's gonna, prioritize, one African over the other of African. The idea was that, we're coming from slavery, or our grandparents was in slavery. We're gonna form a country. Even our constitution you can't be a citizen of Liberia if you're not a descendant of Negroes, meaning Black Africans. So that country, is funded for all Africans. You can be from anywhere in Africa as long as you have a Negro parent. You're eligible to be a Liberian citizen. So I guess that's why our laws are more last, and we can accept any and every African, as a Liberian and give them the same rights as other Liberian citizens. And maybe Ghana, their mindset is different. But like you were saying, Dinus, I maybe you can kind of tell us a little bit about the process in Sierra Leone because I think they do it better there. And of course, Sierra Leone is not as quote unquote successful as Ghana in terms of their economy and their development. But I think that they have more of a genuine process to reintegrate diasporans, Africans who want to reconnect with the continent and Sierra Leone in particular. Maybe you can explain to us, Donis, what's the process and what kind of privilege or rights you get by getting your citizenship, even if you came from the United States.
Right. So if for the most part, you take a DNA test with African ancestry and the results come back Sierra Leone, that's like 90% of the, what's needed to be eligible. There's more to it, but that's like the first step to get your foot in the door.
Right. So once you get in the door, and like I know you went through the process and you got your citizenship. So what did it confer on you? Like you can own land, you can vote. What are your
Yeah, I mean,
privileges?
you're a citizen, so you can own land, you can vote. I don't think you can run for office or for president. I don't think, for president because you're, dual citizen. I don't think they allow dual citizens to run for president. I don't think so. But yeah, you're Sierra Leone.
Right. And I know they confer citizenship on Stevie Wonder. I'm not sure if Kofi is still here. If you can tell us what privilege, with people from the diaspora who gets, Ghanaian citizenship will have if they, are
Well,
naturalized citizens.
well, let's say every 3 to 4 years, Nana Kufuor, he he picks a list of diasporans, right, who could contribute to Ghana and who have proved that they could last the time in Ghana. He picks a list of 120 something people to instantly gain their citizenship. And I believe the next one is going to be either within a year or two. And this is they just put in the Diaspora Affairs Ministry. That was something that Akufo-Addo did. But we're all wondering, okay, for the next election, right, the next president-elect, is he going to keep that as a ministry moving forward? And I believe, yeah, they will, because bringing in people like Stevie Wonder, that's just like a number one draft pick if I had to compare it. That's a franchise pick right there. So I
My
believe
my
it
my
would be this
question
like
is, what
ongoing
does
thing.
yeah, 1 second, Kofi. My question is, what does Stevie Wonder get in return for getting that citizenship conferred on him? What does he get? What privileges does he get as a Ghanaian citizen or honorary? Is it honorary or is it actual citizenship? That's what I want to understand.
No, my bad, guys. I had something happen. I got disconnected. But go ahead.
I believe as a actual citizen, right, you get to take advantage of certain capitalism tools, right? You get to take out loans. I believe you get to travel in and out of the border. You know, this is a great question. Things are cheaper, right? You pay the Ghana price. You no longer pay the foreign price, which just seems like it's just always like 10 times more. You know, things are cheaper, less less hassle. But that's a good question. I feel like only time can tell. You know, what do you get? But what you get? You get your status as an African participating in Africa. And I've done Goatee, right? In order for him to do business across across the African continent, he has something like 39 visas. You know, will things change? I think it all comes down to being able to maneuver and set up different businesses in different African countries. It has to be a board. It has to, our African passports within these countries have to kind of be like make Africa borderless for us. But that's a good question, Elvis. What does having a passport and being citizens, what do that do for us? Is it symbolic, or is this financially beneficial to us?
All right. Tunde, if you want to come in, I have another question, but if you want to come in, I can yield to you.
You want me? I didn't have a question per se. Damn, I did have a thought, but I didn't have a question per se.
Okay. All right.
Well, look, I notice when I get into arguments, right? If I'm having an argument with my wife, or if I'm having an argument with a Ghanaian who mistakenly like came into my home by accident because my door is unlocked, and I'm yelling and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, people like to throw this thing like, "Look, you're not from here." Like when you start to win arguments, people are gonna pull that "you not from here" card. And I believe when you get that citizenship, like, nah, you can't tell them I'm not from here. I'm a citizen just like you. You could throw that back. You know, but
wait, are you not a natural or native Ghanaian? Or you repatriated to Ghana, or were you born and raised there?
Yeah. I was born in the United States. My parents, they went to school with Nigerians. They went to school with Ghanaians, and they took the names from that influence. Like me and my brothers, we all have African names, and I just came to Ghana due to the many West Africans I was meeting through my name and the conversations that was sparked. And Ghana was the first country I came to after COVID. It was supposed to be Zimbabwe, but after COVID happened, it was me coming to Ghana. And I know I'm not a citizen yet. I'm married to a Ghanaian for 2 years now, and I'm eligible for citizenship as we speak.
So when are you going to get your citizenship, Kofi, if you're eligible?
I was at the Jubilee House today, and they're definitely going to put me on the next list. Other than that, I would pay like higher fees if I wanted to do it without the Diaspora Affairs. I would just pay higher fees as like a normal foreign national. I would have to pay for a lawyer. I would have to get like a couple of more letters of consent. I would have to get a police clearance by the Ghana police. Is not that much different. And I also would have like 2 more years to go as far as like residency. I would have to have like 2 more years after this 3 years. But going through the Diaspora Affairs office, they expedite you way more faster than that.
So when's the next swearing in, I guess?
They're saying it's controversial because although his presidency is up after this year.
Already, dang.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that the Diaspora Affairs Ministries goes into effect during the next administration. That only then will like tell we would know. But I believe Otto, being the ex-president, he could also persuade the next president in line to, keep his promise on on the right of abode.
Okay, and
But
then,
it's
can I
kind
just
of
come in here?
it's not clear yet.
Yeah, can I just come in here? I mean, I think you said you've been there for about a couple of years, but I know uh, Nana Ado went to school in England, and he's been abroad. He's lived, a long time I think, in the UK. And his father was a big person in Ghana before him. I think he was a justice or something like that in Ghana, but he was a minister or something. But the next person that's probably going to be president, I'm not so sure about this. You're living there, but it's probably going to be John Mahama, right? He was the president before. I think he's running again. He has a
Yeah.
brother who I think is a billionaire businessman, so he has a lot of financial backing. But I think,
Yes.
you know Nana Addo, is somebody who put this initiative forward because he lived in a diaspora and went to school there, and he understands, the yearning of many, Africans who live in the diaspora that want to come back home and reconnect. I'm not sure if John Mahama will have that same idea. I think he's mostly lived on the continent. I don't think he really stay outside of Ghana for a long time. And he's probably poised to be the next president. But what's the situation with the economy? Because we heard that the economy kind of went down. Is it recovering? Is things looking better? Or, because I hear the politicians always blaming Nana, Addo, that things are bad and he's leaving the country in a mess, you know.
This is what I know. The network went out like last month, maybe two months ago, and I believe that put everyone on high alert. If you don't have access to your money, if you don't have access to online banking, you don't have you can't spend your money unless you turn your money into hard assets. Having livestock, having food to eat, having farms, having boating ships available to get fish, being able to work on your own car, you, being without oil and fuel and gas, and kind of finding a
It's that Ghanaian internet.
Yep.
you're doomed anyway. I don't think that just affects Americans. I believe that affects Ghanaians. I believe we have to have a plan for that. Of so much fiat currency, I believe there will be a developing nation themselves.
Right. And I actually I want one question again. You've been to other African countries, right? Other West African countries, and you spent some time there?
I my first year, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately,
Oh,
no. My first time booking a ticket, my first itinerary was Zimbabwe, then it was Kenya, and then it was supposed to be Ghana last. I'm preparing to make a trip to Liberia. I've been a huge fan in the Liberian discussions. I've been learning a lot from Focus on Liberia channel,
yeah, I'm
and
I'm on there. I see you on there too. I'm the panelist on that platform. I was going to
yeah,
ask you if you had, but I'm guessing maybe Dinas has too. But what's different? What do you think Ghana does better than other African countries? Maybe Dinas can answer this. And if Tunde has
Market,
lived in other African countries, and maybe you can
market,
tell us.
market,
What do you mean when you say market, Dinas?
market. I mean, what does market mean, Elvis?
I mean, you mean like commerce or
I
the
mean, I mean,
commerce?
they did the year of return. They market themselves better.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's what you mean. I thought you meant like the economy or something.
Market.
Yo, Donis, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Um, I have two questions first, but let me ask you this first one. What do you think? What do you think is the issue with the whole lighting system, the electrical system, as far as like keeping the lights on 24/7? And I know you know about like Nigeria. You go through like NEPA and all that. What do you think that is?
I think it's internal. So me and John Cashin, he used to live in Nigeria, but he's back here in America. We went to a dam in right in Osun State that if they were just to outfit it properly, it would power like all of Osun State damn near. But it's just sitting there rusting.
Right, right. Because I feel like that's the only thing that's like like holding us back a bit as far as like in that country. Like I believe if you provide electricity and the proper like data service for these Nigerians, they'll come up with something to on their own to create some type of system for themselves. You know what I'm saying? But it's the fact that when you don't have electricity 24/7, it's like you go 10 steps back again. You got to wait. I even heard something as far as like the politicians invest in generators. So if they invest in generators, they might not want to just fix the electrical problem as much, because they're getting a piece of every generation, a piece of any generator sold, and that's like messing up the economy like that.
One second, Tunde. It's not just generators. The fuel subsidies that's hurting the country even more. It's not just the generators, the fuel, because people get fuel subsidies from the government. But another thing I would say that's hurting Nigeria is the northern part of the country. That you guys have the largest single ethnic group in on the entire continent, the Hausa. Now they're mixed with the Fulanese. You have about 60 or 70 million people, which most of them are uneducated, unlike the Yorubas and the Igbos. And if you bring those guys up to par and they become educated and put away that religious separation, I think your country will probably work a lot better, because a large portion of your population who makes the voting decision pretty much for the entire country are uneducated, and if they are educated, to focus on Islamic studies rather than economics and other things in the sciences.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
Right. So I think if the North rise up education wise, you guys will probably be working on a higher scale. But I think it's mostly done to the South and the East that's doing the heavy lifting, and the North need to come up and really start to help the country overall.
Where
That's
you
what
from,
I
Elvis?
Liberia.
Liberia. Okay. I wanted to ask Dinah another question. Dinah, you've been to Ghana before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As far as like tribalism is concerned, who's like worse? Is it Nigeria or Ghana? As far as like
not Nigeria.
Nigeria, and that was what I wanted to bring up as far as why Ghana has gotten to a level of a sustainable standard, and compared to other West African countries. I think it's because they don't. I'm not going to say they don't practice tribalism, but it's not as crazy as it is in Nigeria. I know you mentioned marketing, but I was going to mention the lack of that tribalism aspect as well.
I mean, there's deep, seated. I mean, I would say maybe the ones that have kind of healed, but not completely, because you have the Fanti and the Ashanti who went to war against each other, and the Fanti fought with the British against the Ashanti. So I think that was a deep scar between those two tribes, and I think it's there in Ghana. It's not as visible, but certainly there's some tribal tension, especially between the Fantis and the Ashantis. Yeah, but it's not as pronounced as it is in Nigeria, of course.
I think it's in every country you're gonna see at least 3 or 4 rival ethnic groups. Just history tells the story of in Ghana, right? The Ashanti used to enslave Northerners, and the Northerners were used strictly for their strength. They're taller, stronger, and especially if you were to breed with people like that, then you yourself would become taller and stronger. And that's just how it's been. Now, kind of like tribalism, like people pick at the past and kind of make fun of them. And I believe I feel like the more you're exposing yourself to the internet, the less tribalism there'll be. The less information you have, you're definitely going to rival someone if it comes down to whether you're going to eat or not. If you don't fight, if you don't fight this person encroaching on you because of their way of living, because of their culture, then you're gonna starve yourself out, and you're gonna starve you're gonna pretty much be phased out.
Well, I mean, like look at Nigeria for example, right? And I see this on different platforms, and even my friends who are Nigerian. For example, in Lagos, right? You have a sizable Igbo population there, and they get bullied because people say, Lagos is for Yorubas, and the Igbo should go back to their states and build them. Go back to Anambra, go back to Abia, and build them up. And Igbos have made some contributions to Lagos, but they get looked down
Absolutely,
on.
absolutely.
Right. So that's the point here is tribalism really persists in Africa today. This is my view because of political reasons. I was talking to a guy from Ethiopia who is a Oromo, and just to go off on a tangent here, just to give you an example. In Ethiopia, the Oromo makes up about 60% of the population. Of course, you have the Amharas and the Tigrayans, and they have never held state power for over 100 plus years, and they make up 60% of the population. Now they have a president who is, Oromo, and they're now, being socially stratified because they have a president who is prioritizing their education because although they were the most in terms of population, but they were the least educated. You have a similar situation like that in the northern part of Nigeria, where you have the House of Fulanis, who are the majority of the population, but amongst the least educated. And now they're really taking the political bull by the horn, and are pretty much running the political scene in Nigeria. You have Igbo wants to, they want to secede. Even Yoruba is talking about seceding because they know, just purely based on the political strength of the House of Fulani, they can win every election, from now until maybe 2050 if they wanted to, because the population is just so large. Combined with the Yorubas and the Igbos, they're even more than them combined. So that's what it is. These guys will say we want to have our own, we want to become president because we want to help our people, and most of these tribes will vote along tribal lines. That's the problem. I think the politics is the thing that's going to keep dividing people, because if you have the numbers, you can use your tribe to get a political power, and we see that in Nigeria, we see that in other countries, and I think that's what's separating us. We have a similar thing here in the United States. It's not about tribes; it's about political affiliation. So if you're a Republican, you want the Republicans to win because you feel like they're going to push your ideology. Same thing for Democrats. So they've just evolved from a base level, where in Africa we're still at that base of tribalism rather than evolving to maybe classism or some other advanced form of schism. But that's my take on it. I'll pass the mic.
That's a good point, man. Good point.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, please click on the link. Again, if you want to call in after the conversation, please click on the league. JC, I see you hating on Nigeria, but we're still going to rise. We're still going to win. Go ahead and keep hating on Nigeria, JC. Go ahead. We're still number one. All right, guys. Links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, please click on that link. If not, we'll go ahead and close out. Kofi, this is a good question. Where do Americans fit into the ethnic hierarchy of Ghana?
I mean, when people aren't calling us white, you always get this I'm black and you're the white man kind of thing. And I'm like, damn, since when have you called yourself black? Historically, we've been considered black, and you've been considered your ethnic group. We've been considered black because of the slave trade, and because we found ourselves in the West opposed to white Americans and white Europeans. So people are very unaware of our history, and it will even go as far as like mislabeling you and mislabeling you by the name of your oppressor. And that shit I just can't stand here. And I feel like because
You're
of
colonized, brother.
we're almost a throwaway. we're almost throwaways to the people of West Africa. If not the entire Africa, we're just throwaways. And it's like, okay, you've been to the United States, you only know a white man's language. You're not one of us. You're white. But our hair and our skin pigmentations are the same. There's actually a lot of light skinned people here on the West African coast. Africa likes to hide their light skinned people, but there's a lot of light skinned people here. Those that are non. But this is also like a form of tribalism, is when you have this like hybrid African who's mixed with like every ethnic group, and then they're like emerging because they just have the best of all worlds. You know, people like to find like an excuse to say this person's not one of us. And I just think that if we release Nigerians out on Africa, it would kind of bring things to like balance. You know, we take the highest population countries and just release them on Africa, and you know, we have to stop this like inbreeding within cultures. I feel like we were forced to integrate because we were forced to integrate because of slavery, and that would breed the super negro. But because of these borders, it's kind of like suppressing us and dumbing us down. We definitely need that new blood, in that we have Nigerians going into Togo, Benin going into Cote d'Ivoire going into the Anglo countries, the Francophone blacks mixing with the Anglophone blacks, and we're creating like this new race of African people. And I really think that just needs to happen, because I can't stand it. And I believe I represent that in a way. You know, it just needs to be more.
You know, there's colorism in Ghana. You know, Ghanaians are known for being very dark, you know, and it's a good thing. You know, you have a lot of very beautiful dark women that come out of Ghana. So if you're a little lighter, you know, they start to question you. But the irony is, take somebody like Jerry Rollins, right? Who is, you know, I mean, I hate to use the word, but almost like mulatto, because he has some, you know, white ancestry in his DNA.
Not almost. He is mulatto.
Right. So he ruled Ghana, and he's considered a pure, you know, a Ghanaian, right? Because you know he really did a number on that country, from turning them around from, you know, after Nkrumah left, he really kind of straightened them out and probably led them on a path of success, you know. But there is a colorism in Ghana. If you're not as dark as most Ghanaians, they look at you different, like you're saying, Kofi. And that's the point that I'm saying. I've never been to Ghana, but I knew a lot of people who lived there. We had Liberians who, you know, lived in Ghana after the war. They just got repatriated back to Liberia. And there's been a lot of, you know, unfair treatment. I saw in the chat that people were saying that Ghana did a lot for Liberia. And most people don't understand the history of those two countries. I'll give you somebody like Michael Blackson, who is well known. His mother, or his sister, is Eli's Apple's mom. They were both lived in Liberia. That was before the war. So they came to Liberia, they went to school there. That's why you see Michael Blackson, although he's Ghanaian, but he actually has a Liberian accent. And a lot of Ghanaians lived in Liberia, and they felt safe there during the time of Jerry Rollins, when he was kind of, you know, targeting certain people. A lot of people fled from Ghana to Liberia. So when people say that Ghana has done so much for us, they're only referring to, you know, the recent time during the war, where a lot of Liberians went to Ghana as refugees, and they was in a camp that the Ghanaians tried to kick him off, you know, right after the war. So I'm not saying that Ghanaians are bad people, but I'm saying if you read your history and you understand the history, Liberia has done a lot for Ghana, helped them a lot, you know, before the war. So that's why, even during the peacekeeping mission, I always tip my hat to Nigeria. I always give big praises to Nigeria. I think Nigeria saved Liberia more so than Ghana. Not saying that Ghana didn't sacrifice some of their, you know, their lives to help, but Nigeria really did a lot, especially a guy called Molu. There was a guy called Molu who was a general for ECOMOG. He really did a great job, and we honor him, and we really hold him in high esteem. So Ghana, I think, like I said, I liken them to the South Africa of West Africa. I think they're being too protective, and they're almost isolating other Africans from wanting to, immigrate into their country and be a part of them. In Liberia, we have Nigerians. I have Nigerians, Yoruba in my family who are married into my mother's sister is married to a Yoruba man. I have cousins who are Yorubas. So, Nigerians can come to Liberia. We have a lot of them in Liberia. So but Ghanaians is the opposite when you go to the country. That's why I have a problem. People think I'm hating on Ghana. I'm not. I'm just saying they need to cut that off and be more open to it, especially other West Africans and even the people coming from the diaspora. They need to be more open. That's just my 2 cents. If it's working for them and they want to be closed off, fine, but that's going to drive people away from your country. That's my take.
We're colonized. So I say it all the time, man. African Americans in America are way more woke and conscious than Africans on the continent. Africans on the continent, they don't know their history like that. And, some nations follow the British system, some nations follow the French and German system. It's like they don't know who they are sometimes, man. So, whenever you hear a Ghanaian or a Nigerian make comments like that, it's just, you just gotta chalk it up to like, yo, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you're talking about. They don't even know their history like that. So,
what's ironic? When I say my name is Kofi Newton, people always associate that with the Central region and the Fanti people. And other than like Cam Newton, Huey Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, John Newton, I really couldn't pinpoint the relations with these Newtons, like through the bloodline. You just like scattered Newtons. But then ironically, I come here and people are like, oh yeah, that's Fanti. And now got me wondering, like, oh, okay, maybe because of the slave trade, maybe they had a enslaver, right, named Newton, and he took people to Jamaica, to Barbados. He took people throughout the Americas. So now it got me searching, like, okay, the closest person would be John Newton, and I believe he's responsible for the Amazing Grace song, and he had freed a couple of he had sat on a case where it kind of was like the tipping point of emancipating slavery, through like stopping the traffic of slaves from the West African coast. And even ironically, even he was enslaved by this Sherbro queen. But I'm wondering if we are of the same Newtons, and I meet Newtons today. I met this place called Bliss Entertainment. It has a bowling alley, and it has like this theme park in Accra. And these people, we have the same name, and we took pictures of each other. I'm like, wow, they kind of look like my aunts and my aunts. So I'm wondering if I could trace my lineage back to the Central region. But
Yeah, but
these
have
things
you ever
tell a
felt
story.
that? Have you ever felt that disconnect? I'm not sure if you really get involved into it, but people who are like Ashantis, if they, you know, maybe think that you're a Fanti, they're
Sometimes you get this sibling rivalry, right? But at at least Fantis and Ashanti, they're coming from the same language group. You could compare them to like a Black New Yorker, to like a South Carolina or Georgia Gullah Geechee. The accents are different, the lingo is different, but we still understand each other, and we know that okay, there was a migration at one point. We just migrated from these areas, but our ancestors are from the same place. You get like this rivalry, but it's like all fair game. Now, when it comes to like the Ga, Ewe, and it's like they're kind of forced to just speak Tree because this is like they're in the Northerners, they're forced to speak Tree because the Akana people, they're the most traveled. The Ashanti people are the most traveled. So that's how that just naturally works. And I would say that Nigerians are the Black Americans of Africa because it seems that everyone got a problem. Everyone got a problem with Nigerians on the continent, and then you could say in America, everyone got a problem with Black Americans because we just into everything. We not cooperating.
You know, I would disagree with you a little bit on that point because I think Nigerians on the continent as a whole, I think they're the best at almost everything, and that includes the bad things too. So that's why they get a bad rap. So they're the best at probably doing Yahoo, the Yahoo boys, the scamming, the 419, other those things. But they're also innovative. They're great business people. They're smart. They're academics. They're great doctors and and so forth. And Nigeria being the largest populated country on the continent, you're going to see a microcosm of Africa in Nigeria. So you're going to see them be the most well traveled because there's just so many of them. You're going to see them pretty much everywhere, and sometimes not the best of them. Those who want to hustle are going to probably go to where they think the goal is and try to get that goal somehow. So it's not necessarily that people hate Nigeria. It's just that most people who have been scammed or have had some bad interactions with Nigerians, they feel like that's how all Nigerians are, but it's not true. There's over 200 millions of them, and not not even 10% of them are scamming. A lot of them are smart people that they do a lot of great things. I like Nigerians. I respect them. I think they're an asset to the continent. My biggest thing is I just think they need to ramp it up because they're the example that's supposed to lead us, especially in West Africa. And
Exactly. There's no reason why we should be in the position we're in right now.
right. They're vastly underperforming where they should be, and that's why
Because
when you guys are pounding your chest that you're so great, you should be way way greater than what you are now.
exactly. Like you
I
like the
know
heart
Nigerians,
of Africa.
right? When it comes to the marine life, when it comes to naval, when it comes to the waters, I could say that Nigerians are ahead. They're building warships, they're creating their own materials to build ships, and I'm actually copying Nigerians here, and I'm in Ghana, but I'm looking at the Nigerians. I'm copying what they're doing, and I believe that we have to take this Chinese and Japanese approach to copying the world, and not being so not trying to not being so original that we can't copy another race or another group of people. I think that's where Africans would thrive in, if just being the best copiers. The technology is there. We should go as far. Look, South Africa, right? They got a 3D printer on wheels, and it's 3D printing homes. I'm like, shit. I think we just fixed the road problem in Ghana. If we could get one of those things on the road, um, someone's at home controlling it, filling in those potholes, and then by the time morning comes, people getting to work. Now the only thing I fear is that a car or a chocho bus hitting one of the robots, hitting one of these 3D printers. But we have it right here on the continent. We just need to copy each other and excel. Get ready. Just get ready. You know.
And Diners, what do you think is holding Nigeria back? I know you've been there a lot. What do you think is holding them back?
I mean, it's politics, if you ask me.
Too many niggas. Like literally.
I think a lot of those politicians they value uh European standards too much. So they rather roll around in, you know, foreign cars and designer wares than to really take care of the problem at hand. Just to sit next to the elites and pump their chest like I am a big man. Nah, don't you see me and all that crap. Than to, you know, actually do something with the nation.
Dubai was built by a huge population of Indians, and why can't the neighboring country, right, be built
Right.
by a huge population of Nigerians? But I feel that we had to let go these language barriers too. It's very strategic that the Europeans made it English, French, French, English, French, 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 English. Like that shit is annoying. The only thing that's stopping us from joining forces with francophone countries is the language. And I was like, okay, we got Google Translate. We could throw that out the window. Um, I feel like as soon as they get that gas pipe started again, and they're able, like Nigeria, they're able to process it and benefit off of it, and have it go to Europe and hit the rest of the parts of Africa. I believe that's when you're going to start to see a huge emergence. And if the I don't know, it seems like a alien is trying to like destroy Earth. Like I
Look,
don't know, like that shit don't go through. I don't know what's gonna happen to mankind.
I think there's a cold war, a cold war in Nigeria, and I think it's a religious war. You know, the spread of Islam from the north, you know, is something that is such a big issue in Nigeria right now. Like during the elections, you have, you know, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a Muslim, and usually they try to go Muslim Christian or Christian Muslim on the tickets. But the people from the north, the power broker said he wasn't Muslim enough because number one, he's married to a Christian woman. Number two, he is Yoruba Muslim, so he's not you know, the Fulani or the Hausa Muslim, which was spread through the Sokoto Caliphate. So he's not considered Muslim enough. So they wanted him to take a Muslim vice president. For the first time in a very long time, Nigeria has both a Muslim president and a Muslim vice president. That was a big deal during the elections because they don't trust Tinubu. They think he's not Muslim enough. And now they've become so, you know, sh- uh, 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 fixated on having Muslim presidents rather than having the best person. And most likely after Tinubu leaves, you'll probably have Atiku Abubakar being the next president because he's Muslim and he's from the north also. He's been running for like 10 or 20 years now. So that's the problem. That's why I think is really going on. You see Boko Haram, you see ISWAP in the northern part of the country. They're really trying to spread Islam. You know, they want to Islamicize Nigeria, and that's a big issue because besides tribalism, now you have religious bigotry in the picture. And I think so far they're winning. And I think the Christians needs to step up and pretty much it's split down the middle 50-50. From Kogi down south, most people are Christians, you know, and then from there upwards, most people are Muslim. So it's like it's a quiet war, you know, that's going on between Christians and Muslim, and there's a lot of killings and you know things that's happening against the Christians, and I mean the country is just a mess because you know when Islam and Christianity gets into a fight, you know, governance is put by the wayside. So now it's an ideological war rather than a political war. It's based on religion. So I think that's a big issue. And the people who really have the numbers are you know those who are Muslims. And I think in the long run they're probably going to win out because they have the numbers. Unless you have a coup or you have some kind of cheating where you try to cheat them out of winning, they're always going to win democratically because they have way more numbers than the Igbos and the Yorubas and the other smaller groups. So that's the problem.
The thing that got Africans in check was that Maxim machine gun. Once that gun came out, it was pretty much a wrap. they're pretty much able to, quickly conquer and control all African ethnic groups. Now, I believe the first African to come out with something similar to that. It doesn't have to be a nuclear bomb, but whoever comes out with some form of technology that could just get people in check. And I would say, other than the Maxim machine gun, it's the U.S. dollar was a tool and a technology that got Africans in check. So, who's gonna be the next person to come out with this technological advancement to just get everyone in line? And I feel like it's gonna come in form of something something that's intellectual and something that's also hands-on at the same time. I don't know what that is, but that's what's needed. China was created through the collapse in one dynasty, collapse all the dynasties, and then that last dynasty was collapsed by the revolution. I believe
Bro,
that has to
Kofi,
happen.
Kofi,
Yes.
you know what's so disappointing, bro? Nigeria, right? And Ghana also, with all the smart people that they have, businessmen. You even have a guy in Nigeria who's doing the innocent motors, right? Making cars. Why can't they start a weapons manufacturing plant in Africa? We have no weapon manufacturing plant, bro. We can defend ourselves. If there's a war against another country from Europe or some other big country, we have to depend on other people to send us weapons on ships and airplanes before we can fight to defend ourselves. We can't manufacture guns on our own on our continent. You know, if anybody should be manufacturing guns by now, it should be Nigeria with the brain trust that they have and the resources and the money that they have in that country. They should have a military, you know, manufacturing guns, for the country. But we don't have it. Neither is Ghana. Neither is, I think South Africa is doing it maybe a little bit, but the dynamics in South Africa. They have a large, white population, and they're the one that's really running that country economically and even militarily. But I think Nigeria should have they should stop,
Where are the ships? Where are the ships at? Where are the huge ships? That's also very key too. I believe that, look, there's economic hitmen that's controlling this whole shit, and that's just a fact. Now, you definitely would have to be you would have to just be like an ultra businessman to choose your own fate. But even the richest people are like somewhat docile because they're not mass producing anything. If only Dangote is doing these things, all they have to do is just take them out, and then where we're at, where are we at?
yeah, we got somebody new. I think he wants to speak Nigeria first. I think you can.
Hey,
You got
Nigeria
the
first. Go Nigeria first. Unmute yourself.
I'm here to correct or something. Elvis, Maurice, I need to ask, are you in Nigeria or what?
No, I'm Liberian. I'm not Nigerian.
Then when you are speaking on another country, I think you should use I may be wrong or something. You don't just, don't just say things you know nothing about. For instance, you claim the Muslim, they are the one deciding, like, they control the politics, which is fake news. That's not true.
Are you speaking?
Yeah, you have the floor. I'm not gonna argue with you, brother. You're a native. I'm not gonna act like I know more than you. I'm just listening to learn. Go ahead.
Percentage of the population, I think it's almost 50-50, or the Southern is more than the North. Than the North. For instance, when it comes to leadership, you understand me? The North cannot win Nigeria presidential election by themselves. Even if they vote for one person, it will not happen because that's the way the country is structured. Whereby win election by themselves, it is impossible for that to happen. Also, you claim that that they are killing people and all that. They want to Islamize Nigeria. When I don't understand. When is that? As in, I think this has been in news that has been spreading for the past let's say 15 or 20 years.
What part of Nigeria are you from, if I can ask you that?
If that would have happened, that would have happened during the military era, because you know why? The military have the absolute power to do anything. You understand me? So not this era. No one can Islamize anybody or Christianize anybody. It's not going to happen because we don't have the power to do that. Not the North, not the South, not the South. Nobody has the power to whether Muslimize or Christianize. It's not going to happen. So these are just people or some individual Nigerians giving their opinion on YouTube or on social media. It doesn't mean that is.
Are you there?
Stop here. Let me explain to you. America, in the United States right now, election is taking place. If you listen to the politicians, they are playing what you would call tribalism in Africa right now. It is normally happen during election period. But after that, when you go on the street in Nigeria, nobody cares about where you are from when they are selling things on the streets or in the market. No one cares. You understand me? People don't go about asking you, oh, I want to buy this. Okay, first, what tribe are you from? No one does that. Nobody. Yes,
Okay.
during election, UK, everywhere these things happen. It doesn't mean that is what's going on a daily basis in our daily life. It doesn't happen. People go about their day doing business and and enjoy their life. So we should be careful when we come online and spread what we don't know anything about.
Okay. All right. Let me have 2 minutes, please, to respond to you.
Yeah.
If you're saying that in places like Borno and Yobe and even in the city of Maiduguri, people are not being killed by Boko Haram. Christians are not being killed and forced to convert to
But
Islam. Hold
but
on,
Chris but
hold on,
Christian don't
please.
hold on. Christian don't live in Bonu. All the
That's
people
what you
do
think. You assume
hold
that
on.
no, no. You assume that it's all Muslim because it's in the north.
Don't hold
Christians
on,
live
hold
there.
on,
They
hold
are
on.
very small minorities, but they live there, and they get targeted because they're Christians, and they're
Don't
forced to
say
either
don't
convert
say
or get killed.
please,
He let you
please,
speak, man. He let you speak,
please.
Nigeria first.
I beg
Let you
you, don't
speak,
say
man.
what. Hold on. I know Nigeria. Let me explain to him. In Borno State is 100% or let's say 99% Muslim,
You're
and most
being
of the
you're being disingenuous. It's not true. There's nowhere where it will be 99%. That's what you like to think. It's not true.
hold on, sir. All the people that have been killed by Boko Haram are their own fellow the interest of whoever paid them to do what they are doing, because most of the crime, if you pay attention, they are being sponsored by some certain people in the country and I believe other external forces also. You understand me? Just because we live here doesn't mean we don't know what's going on here. We know what is going on.
Okay, you made a point. Let me continue making my points, please. You had the herdsman issue where the former
Mm-hmm.
president said they should be allowed to graze wherever they need to, because the cows need to be fed. And there was violence. People, herdsmen was killing people in other states. Coming down even down south into the country. You heard about the Sokoto Caliphate, Usman Dan Fodio. You heard about that.
Oh
That is
God.
that Islamicized the vast majority of the northern part of the country. That's how most of those people became Muslim. You heard about it.
Usman Danfodo passed away, let's say, about 100 years
Yes,
ago. I
but
don't
that he
understand what
was
you're
the one
talking
that
about.
Islamicized the entire
I
northern region
don't.
of the country. Is that false?
See, I don't care what about you're saying right now. You claim that Christian has been killed
Christians are
in
being
one of.
killed. There was a church massacre in on those states at a parish. People got killed. Gunmen went in there and killed a bunch of people there.
Okay, do you know the people? Okay, can I explain to you the people that caused that this thing? Do you know the state they are from? Do you want me to tell you the people that commit that crime?
Were they Christians?
Hold on, let me explain to you. They are from Kogi State. They are the Igala people.
Were they Christians?
Hold on. It's Igala. I didn't know they didn't tell anything about their religion or whatever.
No, no,
But
no.
they,
Oh my
no, you
God! You
see,
see, are
no,
you a Muslim? Are you a Muslim from the northern part of Nigeria? State your yourself. Let us know where you're
okay.
from.
I don't practice any of this. I practice traditional religion. Okay, that's what I practice. I'm from the south. I'm from Edo State,
Yeah. So
as I
to
speak to
try
you.
to try to say that there's not religious tension in Nigeria,
No,
and
no, no.
there's not Islamic killing in the country
See,
targeting Christians, that you're just
see.
being disingenuous. Don't say that.
Let me.
I don't
Let
have to
me.
be from
You
Nigeria
are
to
the
know that
one.
this is a fact.
You are the one. Let me
Many
tell
people
you.
on this platform will back me up and know that this is a fact. This is
Let
happening in
me
Nigeria.
tell you what is going on in Nigeria. What's going on in Nigeria is poverty, it's lack of resources. People are fighting for resources. Resources is the issue. When you reduce poverty, there will be no crime. There will be no what is going on currently in the country. It is just poverty. You understand me?
You're
No
you're
religious BS.
simplifying it. That's a lazy answer to give. It's
No,
not
no,
just
no, no,
poverty.
no, no,
There's
no, no.
also
It
religious
is.
bigotry going on in Nigeria. It's
No,
not just
no, no,
poverty.
no.
Come on, man.
See, it is poverty, man. Because if you look at all the kidnapping, what are they requesting for? Is it not money? What are they requesting for? It's money. Yes, it is money. So what they are doing it for is just money.
So
So the government,
Boko
see,
Haram
the
is
government, the
hold on.
state.
Don't
Hold
raise
on.
your voice. We're having a conversation. Boko
Let me
Haram is
complete what I'm
raising
saying.
villages and bombing people
Oh,
because of money, because they want their money, right?
see, there's poverty. See, I will
No, no,
say
no, no.
this. Hold on, let me explain to you. See, northern leaders, they have done a disservice to their own people by not educating majority of the population
I
and not
said that.
empowering. Hold on, and not empowering them on what to do. You can't have young people walking around the street without no job, no education, nothing. What do you expect them to do? Of course, they will pick up
Because
arms.
they go to madrasa. They're not educated in secular books. Like, Boko Haram is saying that book is for, education is forbidden, but they go to madrasa. They go to Muslim schools. They get
That's
educated in Islam.
That's why they see. For instance, in my state, the state government make it compulsory for primary and secondary education. So if the leaders in that region actually push for education and be serious about it, there will be no excuse for people not to go to school.
That's what I'm telling you, because the leaders from the north, like the El Rufais and those kind of guys, they're prioritizing Islamic teaching and Islamic education so that they can control these guys based on their religion.
No,
That's what I'm telling you.
you see, this is what I'm saying. In the north, Elvis is one of the few people who actually focus on education in the north. Elvis and the current governor, yes. Or do you want me to send you a link of when he was sacking teachers who could not read and employing new ones?
That's what
Do
I
you want
said.
me?
If you
See,
are
see,
if you are a
see.
simplistic person who
No,
only see
no,
the
no. See,
facade
see,
that
see,
these
see, see,
people are
see.
giving you, then you believe them on face value. You have to dig deeper,
Say,
brother.
you
You have
don't
to
live.
dig deeper.
See, you live in Liberia. I don't know what's going on there.
No, I
You
live in the United States.
okay in the United States? I don't know much about the United States than you that live there. You understand me? You don't live in Nigeria, for example. I don't think you have been here before. You are relying on what you read online.
Not just what I read. There's been video
Yes,
evidence of these things. How do I know that
no,
Boko Haram exists? Does Boko Haram exist? Have they been killing
of course,
people?
no,
How
of
do I
course,
know
no.
these things?
They
You're
have
saying
been
that like
existing.
since I don't live there, all of my argument is invalidated. It's not true,
They
bro.
have been existing since 2009. So it's not today. You understand me? It was just I blame the northern leaders for what happened. You understand me? Because if you leave population of people uneducated, without jobs, anything, what do you expect them to do? Of course, they will take up arm.
Let me ask you a question. So since
Yeah, go ahead.
you're well informed on Nigeria. This is kind of a little
Yeah.
trivial question. It's trivial, but I want to see because you're well informed. What did the emir of Kano do in 1999? What did he do?
What emir of Kano? Which one?
The current emir who was brought back, Sanusi. What did he do in 1999?
I have no idea what did he do. Tell me.
Okay,
Yeah, so tell me.
the current emir of Kano, Lamidu Sanusi Lamidu.
Yeah.
He killed an able man in Kano State because they claim that he wiped his butt. He cleaned his ass with the Quran or shit from the Quran. They beheaded him. I think there was 6 of them.
He
That
himself.
hold on. He himself and I think 4 other guys. That
Do
was
you
during the
have
time of hold on. Let me finish. That was during the time of General Abacha. 2 of those guys were caught and executed and killed. And Lamidu went to Sudan where he went to school. He went to school there and got his Islamic education. Came back into Nigeria, became the central bank governor, and eventually became the emir of Kano.
Please, can you send me a link of that news?
I'm just telling you that you think you know Nigeria more than every other person.
See,
People who know this.
No. I'm not going to rely on hearsay.
Go do the research.
No, not
Go do the research.
Please post the link now. Let me read the news. Please, can you post it? Can you post it?
Go and do the research.
No, if you say so, can you please post it?
All right, go ahead. I'm going to get the link right now.
Yeah, get the link and post it. Get the link and post it.
Please,
we're going to close out in 13 minutes.
Because it's very important. You cannot say Sanusi went ahead and killed someone and also then went straight to become the central bank governor. Come on.
What's the difference between what's going on in the north of Nigeria and what has happened in Liberia with the coup d'etats in the civil wars? I would ask, what's the difference?
No, let him send. Let his, I don't have any idea about Liberia, so I will not comment on Liberia issue.
Right now, Black Americans don't want to come to Liberia because of the history, and that's a fact. Same reason why people don't want to come to Nigeria. It's because of what's being put out there in the media. But if you actually go there today, I believe none of this shit is happening. It's just being exaggerated.
I tell people, if there will be problem, many of the investment that are being made by the business.
One second. I posted a video link in the chat from YouTube. This is from the former aviation minister of Nigeria, Femi Kayode. But there are other articles. This one is just a video because it was the easiest to find. But this is a minister who's serving under Obasanjo and even served under Buhari. This is a minister. He knows this history. Hold on. You can go and watch that video.
But Fani Tayo, no one take him seriously in Nigeria. He's a confirmed and pure liar. So you see, this is what I'm
No,
saying.
no, no,
You
no,
oh,
no.
no.
He's
Hold on.
stating facts, and I can.
No, he
Who-
did not. He did not. See, everyone, ask anyone online there.
I
That
posted the link, my brother.
no. Hold on.
Buhari, the former president, hired him as a cabinet minister.
Hold on now. You said Sanusi. Send me the Sanusi link. Let me read it and confirm what you said. Because you claim here, you raised the claim that he was involved in killing someone and he became a CBN governor. If that's true, then post it. Let's see.
All right, guys, we're gonna close out. Everyone,
Diners. Hold on, before you go, you see how these guys will come and spread lies. That's why I normally come here.
well,
to
he
counter
posted
them.
another guy.
No. He just posted video.
Right.
You said you posted a video. Someone else is giving his
I posted the link. I posted another link. People who know things in Nigeria know this. This was hidden. But people who know it know this. This is not a regular guy. This is the minister of your country.
Okay,
He was a servant in two administrations. He's not just anybody.
Hold on.
I posted a second link. Go and copy that link and read the article. It's there.
Yeah,
it's in the chat.
But Elvis, this is from Naturalike. This is like a gossip blog. Come on, man.
You see, this is why I don't take these people serious. They just read something, they rely on fake news, and they keep repeating what they don't know anything about.
There's one here from the Tribune. There's one here from the Tribune. I'll post it too because I'm telling you, people talk about these things because it's a well-known information. I'll post this one too. This is a reputable newspaper. I'll post it too.
You said Emir of Khan Sanusi.
I posted another one from the Tribune. This is a reputable newspaper outlet in Nigeria. You can read that one too.
Okay, hold on. Let me click the link. Then let's go through it. Danas, please go through it before.
Yeah. I'll go in and share the screen. Hold on 1 second.
Go through it before because
there we go.
Czar, if you have to read it in 2024 and there's no video, it's not real.
Yeah. Go here we go, guys. Let me blow it up. There we go. You guys can read through it.
Can you please zoom in out? What did they write there? What media platform is this?
In 1995, a group of 9 Wahhabis who alleged to have committed a murder in Kano.
Alleged. Keyword alleged.
Alleged, but many people who in Nigeria know this is a fact.
It's alleged.
Abacha executed, I think, 3 of those guys. This is well known under the military leadership of Soni Abacha. It happened in Kano, and he fled because his family is from the royal family of Kano. So they protected him and sent him to Sudan. That's where he got his Islamic education from. That's why he fled the country in 1995. This is well known. That's why I wanted you to watch the video because he narrates this very well.
Tell me, Fani Kayode.
Oh God.
See, ask anybody that if a Nigerian is online there, that is not biased. Ask him who is that guy. No one take that guy serious. That guy is a pathological liar. You understand me? You don't take him serious.
Look, a broken clock is right twice a day. This story has been corroborated by so many other people.
That's fake news.
You say you're from Edo State, my man. I'm guessing you're Edo, man. But you're defending this guy to him personally. This is a well-known documented fact that this guy was involved in that killing.
No, it's not documented. You understand me? If it was, most of the TV station in Nigeria, it would have been a popular something that we know about in the country, because some of the popular incidents that happen in Nigeria, some of us know about it. You understand?
How old are you?
That's what I'm not gonna tell you how old I am. So that's none of your business. That's a person.
No, because if you were born in the 2000s, this happened way before you were born.
No, don't worry. I'm not. I have been paying attention to Nigeria elections since 2011. You understand me? So I know
Is this
much about
is this
Nigerian
the first time you've
politics.
heard about this? Is this the first time you heard about this allegation?
No. See. Are you
Is
talking?
this the first time you've
Hold
heard about it, or
on,
did you hear about
hold
it
on.
before?
Let me ask you again. Are you talking about the last minister of communication or the current emir of Kano? Because if you talk
He was
about
deposed. He was deposed by Ganduje after
no,
he.
I don't think
Hold
so.
on. You asked me a question. Let me answer you.
Yeah.
Lamidu was deposed by Ibrahim Ganduje because he spoke against him being corrupt. And then Gandu just broke the emirs into, I think, 5 different emirs. And now when the new governor won the election, he reinstated Lamidu Sanusi Lamidu, who was the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, before he became the emir of Kano.
Yes, yeah, you are
Right.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
That information you just gave, it is right. But you said he killed someone.
I'm telling you, you have to do the research on it. We can't do all the research on this platform because it's time
Well,
sensitive.
yeah, but Elvis, I mean, you don't have it's just you don't have any proof, Elvis. Yeah, it's just that this. Yeah, you're accusing the man of murder. You don't have. You have no facts.
That
Yeah.
is a fact that 3
No, it's
people
not.
in hold on. In
Oh,
that case, Abacha executed 3 people for the killing of that guy in Kano State. He was beheaded because he allegedly raped some sheets from the Quran and allegedly wiped his ass with it, and they beheaded him. And they did an investigation, and under Abacha, 3 of those guys, the 3 that they cut, because there was 9 of them, they're called the Wahhabis. There's a Wahhabi is a sect from Saudi Arabia who practice an extreme form of Islam. So these guys was chased. 3 of them was caught and killed, and the other 3 escaped. And Lamidu Sanusi, being from the royal house of Kanu, was able to be smuggled out of the country, went to school in Sudan, went to London and working in London, got his degree in economics, came back to Nigeria, served as the central bank governor, and then was elected emir of Kano, I think in 2013 or something like that.
So you think if he commit a crime, a murder, he'll be able to go abroad school there without, he will just do all these things without.
You're being so naive right now. I can't even believe you're saying that in the context of Africa. That somebody who commits murder can be, especially if he comes from a powerful family, can be smuggled out.
Hold on. You don't have to prove. You said alleged. Let's not be like a kid.
What is not alleged is that.
You understand me?
Guys, we're gonna close out. This is the Mimi Roberts. Hold on, Mimi. Let me put the link in here.
I can't rely on information from Fanika or the
Yeah. I mean, there's just no. I mean, this is all speculation, Elvis. Mimi, click on that link. You'll be the last caller. Then we'll close out.
Yo, Elvis, you're going down rabbit holes with these murders, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just it's all speculation. It's
But I mean, black on black crime. That's just what it is. Like it's almost like the shit doesn't matter. Yeah, surveillance cameras definitely stop some of these murders, catch some of these murderers.
No.
That relax a little bit.
Yeah, it happened in 1999. Now, if you understand anything about Islam, if anybody is desecrating the Quran or even talking ill about the Prophet, those who practice an extreme form of Islam, people who ascribe to Wahhabism, which is what Lamidu Sanusi was a part of in Kano State. The price for desecrating the Quran is beheading, and that's what they did to that guy in Kano State.
But in 1999, Obasanjo was president of Nigeria.
The only thing that was alleged that wasn't verified was if he was involved. But the crime, hold on. This actual crime did happen. It's in the records. The actual crime did happen, and people was killed because of that crime. But Sanusi was shielded, and he was rushed out of the country and went to Sudan. There's
just no proof on that, Elvis.
Obasanjo was president in 1999, not Abacha.
95. This happened in 95. If you read the article, it says in 1995.
Okay. If you said 1995, you said 1999. Okay, that's okay. Let's give it a rest.
Hey, Mimi, let me know if you're gonna call in, Mimi. If not, we're gonna close out.
Yeah, no proof.
So I'll give it 1 minute for Mimi to call in. If she don't call in, we'll close out.
Let me give you advice. When you hear things about Nigeria, always try to look for information from both sides that is speaking. Listen to the other side and listen to the other side, then conclude. Then do your conclusion from there. Don't rely on one-sided information and just you keep running with it, because this is my country. Here we have extremely biased people, whereby sometimes we play politics with everything. That's why we don't solve problems, because everything is all about politics.
Look, there are people in the chat who knows about this story and is confirming it. If you're not informed,
it can't be confirmed if
yes, what's that proof?
No. What I'm telling you, Diane, is this happened in real life. This is what I'm telling you. The fact that this case happened in Kano in 1995 and people was killed because of this. This is a fact. The only thing that is disputed.
Elvis, the problem is you're implicating somebody and you have absolutely no proof.
No proof, nothing.
That's the problem.
So I should rely on your oral this thing, proof. As you say, I will just believe. You think I'm a fool or I'm a kid for you? Come on. Please.
Whatever you say, man. I posted a link. You can read it. This guy is a powerful guy. He's pretty much a king in Kano, right? Emir is a king, pretty much. So many people are afraid of him to say this information. But people who know, they are telling you this information. A minister of the Federal Republic. Listen to me. Honor Buhari, who is a close friend to this guy, Lamu Sanusi. Fani Kayode served Honor Buhari in his cabinet. And he made that statement.
No,
he made that statement there.
Fani Kayode did not. He served under Goodluck Jonathan.
He served under Buhari, my friend.
No, he did not.
Oh my gosh.
He served under Goodluck Jonathan. Yeah.
He served under Buhari as well. He served under Obasanjo as a minister, served under Goodluck, and he served under Buhari.
No,
go do your research. You're the Nigerian. Go and do your research.
All right, guys, we're gonna go and close out.
He did not. I live here. He did not.
Peace.
Okay.
Shut up. Peace, everyone.
He did not.
All right, everyone.
guys.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty, search for Haru. Peace.
Shut up.